Hey, everybody, welcome back to another daily drop here on TarHeelIllustrated.com. I'm THI publisher Andrew Jones, and the topic today is Carolina football. We have finally taken a departure from basketball to discuss football. The Tar Heels are a couple of weeks into spring practice, actually 3 weeks almost into spring practice. We had access early, and then because so many of us in the media who cover both football and basketball were gone for the NCAA tournament, had to go out west. They went ahead and held off access until here this past week. We're diving back into it. Had stuff Tuesday, had stuff Thursday. We'll have stuff Saturday, have stuff next Tuesday. And then, of course, the spring game on April 20th. So the topic today, quarterback battle. Everybody loves a quarterback battle. Everybody loves talk about quarterback, whether it's good, whether it's bad, especially quarterback battles. They can be a great thing for teams because of competition. Sometimes it's not needed because you've got a guy like Drake May who's established as a second-year guy, no real quarterback battle. Or when Sam Howell was going into his sophomore season, no real quarterback battle. But that's not the case right now at North Carolina. Max Johnson, 6'5", 225-pound transfer from Texas A&M. He spent 2 years at LSU, 2 years at Texas A&M. He's got 2 years of eligibility left because of COVID. He had the red shirt, then he played during COVID, so he gets those 2 years back. And he's used up 2, so he's got 2 more to go. So he could play the next 2 years as North Carolina's starting quarterback if he beats out Connor Harrell, who is now into his 3rd season at North Carolina. He will be a redshirt sophomore quarterback, 6'2", 210 pounds. Everybody saw Connor Harrell start the bowl game, the Duke's Mayo Bowl loss to West Virginia. What we're going to do here is talk about both, a little bit about why there's a battle. Is there really a battle? Or is this just something that Mac Brown is saying? Some people don't believe there is a battle. Some people believe that these dudes are neck and neck. I don't know yet as far as how neck and neck they are. I've seen one practice with them. Well, actually, by the time you watch this, it will be a second practice because I'm recording this before I watch Thursday's practice and get to see them do their stuff. I'll certainly have stuff on our message boards, observations about it, and you can access those message boards, the premium ones, for $8.33 a month for a 1-year subscription. Tons of intel there that you'll never find on free content or on any of these podcasts. So a couple things about Max Johnson as we get back into a football groove. Like I said, 2 seasons at LSU, 2 seasons at Texas A&M. He's played in 30 games, started 22 in the SEC. He has 474 completions for 784 attempts, 60.5%. Not great, not terrible, not great. 5,853 yards, 47 touchdowns, only 12 interceptions. Pretty good. Drop back to pass in the SEC almost 900 times, 12 interceptions. I know the staff wanted someone who can take care of the ball. I know the staff wanted someone who can make the decisions, read the defense, who's a football junkie at quarterback, and march him up and down the field. However, do not ask Max Johnson about being a game manager. He scoffs at it. Doesn't like it. Doesn't like the tag at all. It irks him. And when I talked to him here a while ago about that, I asked him what about it he doesn't like. Like, what is missing? If people say game manager, what else is there? And here's what he said. I'm going to read his quote to you. I've thrown for a lot of 300-yard games, one 400-yard game, but I think just being able to lead, honestly, is the most important thing. Whether that's throwing for 80 yards and winning a game, I don't think it matters how many yards you throw for, how many touchdowns you throw for. As long as you win the game, I think that's honestly the biggest thing. Now, in addition, he talked about his arm strength, and he talked about how he can hit guys in post routes. He talked about how he can hit guys that get past the defender, a dig route, they get past the defender, whatever the case may be. All these different routes that people want to talk about, he can hit guys in those situations. He can hit guys wide. He can hit guys crossing. deep down the middle, deep on the sideline. He's got a good, strong arm. Now, the one practice that I saw so far, and again, when you're listening to this, I will have seen two, but it wasn't super accurate. But also, it was the first day. It's got a lot of young receivers he's working with because the two starting tight ends, Bryson Nesbitt and John Copenhaver, are out. They've got some of their top receivers out. Kobe Paysour is not practicing this spring. J.J. Jones isn't practicing this spring. So he's dealing with a lot of young players. That's actually a good thing because the staff's going to get a real good idea of what he's like with a lot of newness going on. I think that that's healthy. But he doesn't like that idea because of what he just said. Look, if I got to throw for 300 or 400, I'm going to do that to win a game. If I only have to throw for 80 and we could pound the ball and do some short dunks and move the chains, I'm going to do that. Some people might call that game manager. A lot of people, especially in the NFL, call that quarterback. If you're going to go into a game and you need a guy to throw for 350, you're not going to reach the goals that a lot of people have for you. And I think one of the things learned in the last 5 years is great as Sam and Drake were, the program was so reliant on them to be outstanding to win games that when they weren't outstanding, the Tar Heels struggled. I think I wouldn't say a departure from having great quarterbacks. No one ever wants to not have a great quarterback. And I'm not saying Max Johnson won't be a great quarterback for North Carolina, but I do think they like his ability to run. Mac has brought that up a few times. He said, hey, 6'5", 225, the thing that surprises us the most is he can run. And Mac even said earlier this week on Tuesday, fans are really going to enjoy watching him run in the spring game when they get a chance to see what he can do. But he knows how to read stuff. He's a football junkie. He oozes football. His dad is Brad Johnson, won a Super Bowl as a game manager. And his dad was coached by Clyde Christensen, who's coaching Max Johnson now as one of the analysts for Carolina's offense. Clyde Christensen also coached Peyton Manning and Tom Brady and Andrew Luck. So Max is getting a lot of great tutelage at UNC, and we'll see where his game goes. Now, Connor Harrell, a little bit different. Connor's faster than Max. He's a bullet. If you remember that run he had last year, 60-yard run, Mercer game, or Campbell game, excuse me. The 60-yard run showed some of the speed. He's 6'2", 210 pounds. He was 22 for 33 last year for 270 yards, 2 TDs, 2 picks. He had a TD and 2 picks in the bowl game against West Virginia. He was 18 for 27 in that game. And I think he was pretty solid at times, looked inexperienced a lot of the time, but now he's not that inexperienced guy. It was one game, but there was so much to put on film. And what my understanding is that he's put that film to good use. He was a valedictorian for a reason in high school. And a lot of the shakiness that you'll see from a young quarterback in a game like that, he's had chances to watch over and over and over and learn from. And also points of emphasis to work on this spring. So had he not played in that game, I think this would be a different kind of battle. And maybe not a real battle in the sense that, hey, they're neck and neck. But I believe that this is a battle. I believe it's a battle because the staff really likes what Connor Harrell can give them. And I think they believe with game reps, he'll fill out as a player, so to speak, pretty quickly. And they know a lot of what they've seen already from Max. Again, he's in a new offense. He's in a different situation, maybe not as much of a chaos in the program like what he dealt with at Texas A&M. And he's healthy. He wasn't healthy a lot of the time at Texas A&M. That was one of the big issues there. So I do believe there is a competition. One quick quote from Connor Harrell, since I read one that something that Max Johnson told me. I'll tell you one thing that Connor Harrell told me when giving a scouting report about himself. And I thought this was interesting because he's very confident. I feel like I can do everything. I'm athletic, I can throw, and I can make every throw on the field. I can throw it deep, whatever. These are two young men that have very different experience levels, but they're both very confident. Max has achieved enough that Carolina fans should be optimistic that they have a pretty good quarterback in hand if he's the guy. If it's ultimately Connor, Carolina fans should be pretty optimistic because it's a guy who doesn't have great experience, but beat out a dude who was brought in essentially to be the starting quarterback. So this is a battle. It's going to continue into the summer. Mac's and the staff are going to judge at how these guys lead throughout the summer. And you do a lot of leading. In fact, leadership for quarterbacks is as important from May through July as any time during the year. And that's going to be a really, really big part of this process because Mac will get reports. Chip Lindsey will get reports from some of the other players. And that's going to go into the tank. And they're going to look in that tank and they're going to say in the end, okay, here's all the Max Johnson stuff. Here's all the Connor Harrell stuff. Who are we going to go with? Personally, I think it's going to be Max Johnson. And that decision will be made probably in in August. But that's just my projection right now and not even the middle of April. So what do you guys think? Who do you think it's going to be, Max Johnson or Connor Harrell? Do you believe this is a legitimate quarterback battle? Do you believe this thing is neck and neck, or do you think it's all for show? And I ask that because that's what a lot of people are saying. So I'm curious to know what you guys think. I've already given you my opinion. I want to know your take. Are you excited that there is a quarterback battle? Do you like quarterback battles? If so, go ahead and click like on this video. If you think it's going to be Max Johnson, go ahead and click like on this video. I'm going to cheat here and say if you think it's going to be Connor Harrell, go ahead and click like on this video. And by the way, the guy who's third taking snaps right now, we have a note on him on our message board as well right now. Make sure you go ahead and subscribe to our channel if you haven't. Hit the notification bell so you get updates every time you upload. Tell your Carolina friends we are here. Not just here, but over at TarHeelIllustrated.com. Go on over there and sign up. Become a member. Express your points of view on our fast-growing message boards. I'm AJ, and I'll see you next week.